easily get on shore. However, let's focus our attention on something a little more technical. The tip of the anchor and hub has been studied by Cranchi to maximize the safety and easy location of the iron. It's extremely rich in equipment: a 50-kilogram steel brass, a 100-meter chain of 12 millimeters in steel, and a 2-kilowatt winch. The forepeak has a dual access and allows storage of fenders and ropes. This door, in particular, is made with a grating for drainage of water from the shower found at bow. The cockpit has been arranged with a sun deck, bordered by a safety handrail at stern, and then there's a piece of furniture equipped with a sink and a fridge. While in front of the sofa, there's this teak table. Just look at how thick it is. Now let's go and see something a little more practical, like this room to accommodate shoes, and the position of the raft, which is always ready for use. Then the commands in this position make it very easy to moor. There are two peaks at aft that are very convenient for storing mooring lines. And then here, we also find the remote control of the stern dinghy. This element is now a standard element on the Cranchi 64 HT. Cranchi has also used the experience of its designers, which has been gained on smaller boats where space is always lacking, to make the most of every space on this big hull. The name of the boat can also be found on the retractable awning that shelters the removable sunshade. This can also be backlit if so desired. The Cranchi 64 comes equipped with line transmission shaft, which is a sign of reliability. The rudders are applied on the transom, and just take a look at how at a low speed of 8 knots, with both engines meshing, the angle is already extremely effective. Just turn the steering wheel to steer the boat. The boat we're testing today has two MAN 1360 horsepower engines, but the final version, which is the subsequent model, will come equipped with two 1400 HP diesel MAN engines. Let's bring the boat to a glide without using any correction of trim because, well, it isn't needed. The visibility is excellent at bow, and we reach a navigation trend of 1470 RPM, a speed of 17 knots, but we can reduce this rate, lowering the correction of the trim. Bringing the interceptor to the lowest position possible, we can stay at a glide until 14 knots, still at 1450 RPM. At 20 knots of speed, the boat is nice and quiet, just 68 decibels. Approximately 130 litres per hour, 20 knots, 1650 RPM. This could be defined as an economical cruising speed at which you can have an autonomy of at least 320 miles. 2,100 RPM is the cruise speed that man advises as a maximum level, and we're reaching a speed of 31 knots, which is already quite a lot for a boat of 64 feet and 32 tons of dry displacement. We can push down the levers all the way and find the maximum speed of the boat. We found out that this 64HT by Cranchi is extremely high performing. You can't feel the acceleration, but I can say it's really exciting. 72 to 73 decibels. That's the noise measured at the maximum speed of 35 knots with the roof open. This kind of result has been made possible thanks to the cooperation between Webasto and Cranchi, the leader in automotive sunroofs. Webasto has helped achieve an effective system that can be obtained in different positions and that, at the same time, doesn't lead to too much noise on the boat, just perfect ventilation. Going so fast and with such comfort is the result of a long process of insulation of the craft, but also extremely accurate testing. Just imagine, this boat has travelled all over Italy and has had several hours at sea, many of those in rough seas, and the engineers on board have eliminated any vibration regarding the furniture and the facilities. The result is a hull that has optimal conditions of acoustic comfort. Now let's go and take a look at how the bridge of the boat has been set up. The man engine's display are completely independent from the other electronic systems of the boat. There are the commands and the hydraulic bow and stern thrusters, which are used continuously. The boat is complete with lots of facilities that are considered accessories on other boats, including this Ray Marine plotter, which incorporates the GPS functions, the chart plotter, the fish finder, and a high-definition radar. Just look at how clearly we can see the entrance of this channel where we're navigating. The system installed on board is complete and allows for the viewing of different images on the screen. At this particular moment, we're seeing the maps, and the radar image is overlapping this image that we can gradually fade until we see the satellite image. It really is difficult to think of something which is missing on this boat. There are 3 cameras that frame the engine room, the focal points, then one at stern to make it even easier to maneuver from the inner pilot station. If you're navigating until late at night, no problem, because the Cranchi 64HT also has a night vision device, which, even in a difficult situation like this, navigation between the tripod-like posts indicating the channel to be followed before ending up in a dry area, helps us find the exact path in great detail. Cranchi has also developed an integrated electronic control system, which, with 2 intelligence units, controls the entire boat. For example, with this touch screen, you can turn on or turn off the lights or change their color. With this iDrive, it's possible to control all the functions of the craft. It's here, on the armrest of the chair, and we can manage any of the instruments on board with it. Some may think that this element will distract us from driving the boat, but that is not the case. The screen that we're going to use to control the various functions is right outside the windshield, and so we can simultaneously observe our navigation. The boat never ceases to amaze, even when evening falls. It has coloured lights that illuminate the water and the perimeter of the boat. Among the many facilities on board, there's also this portable barbecue that can be placed here at stern so that no cooking vapours and fumes enter the boat. The technical area of the stern is covered by a door that covers the area where the ropes can be inserted. The bit, the mooring winches and the cables are all designed by Cranchi. The engine room also shows the care that has been paid by the shipyard when creating a truly excellent sound and thermal insulation. All the bulkheads are completely coated. Then, another important thing. I'm now down in the engine room after completing the test. The temperature in here is very comfortable, both for us and for the engines. This means reliability, and is a tribute to the engineering which has gone into extracting the heat here. In the engine room, there's all the major technical equipment of the boat. The generator, 20 kilowatts, the desalination plant of 130 litres per hour, an air conditioner of 72,000 BTU with a reduced rush of energy. Another important part of the plant is that it is electronically controlled, and if something isn't working, it can be bypassed manually by acting on these switches. Just look at the painstaking care which has been taken by Cranchi in the preparation of this boat. There are two areas where, in this engine room, we find spare materials. That's not all, because it also has LED lighting. The boat costs €1,765,000, VAT excluded, but it's full of optionals. If you want to express your comments, you can do so on my blog or at the Yacht and Sail website, where you'll also find a summary of this test.